Can the worst possible Gastly beat the entire game of Pokemon Yellow on 0 DVs, minimum battles, and with no TMs? Longtime viewers of the channel will already know we kicked off this series with a Gengar, and we've done the same run with a Haunter on livestream, so this is going to be an absolute cakewalk, right? I mean, Gastly's got great speed, great special, it should crush basically everything in the game. Well, I say, hold up, not so fast. As good as Gastly's stats are, it's still slower than Gengar and Haunter, meaning it could be outsped by some pretty serious threats. Koga's Venomoth, Giovanni's Dugtrio, the champion's Alakazam, they all have super effective moves that could one-shot it. So is this going to be a sweet little Halloween treat, or an absolute Halloween horror? There's only one way to find out. Let's get into it. Gastly reminded Professor Oak of his high school girlfriend, Agatha, so he caught it in a Pokeball and we got our starting Pokemon. Let's get to Rival 1.
We're ghosting like Swayze. Okay, so here in this first fight, we are guaranteed to win this 100% of the time, because this Eevee cannot damage us. It's that simple. Just can't damage our Gastly.
In the early game, Gastly is essentially the same as Gengar because its main attacking move is Nightshade. We're at exactly the same level and we can't be hit by anything, so we crush the bug catcher and it's on to Brock.
What? So in the early game, we're going to get a lot of extra levels. So yeah, here against this Geodude, it can't hit us, so in fact, I think I'm going to spam Lick on this one because I can, and because it can't do anything back to me. And now here against Onix, this is another one where it technically can't hit us, and we're just going to keep it confused so that it keeps having chances to hit itself. And it's not doing much damage, mind you. And yeah, here we'll just use Nightshade to finish it off. There we go. So first badge down, no resets. We wouldn't have really expected to get any resets anyway, but yeah.
So with Brock going down, we make our way through the route to Mount Moon, which is just incredibly, insanely easy, because the only move that can hit us in this entire section is Poison Sting. Ghost has a 4 times resistance to poison type attacks, meaning we're literally taking 1 damage per hit. And that means that we can just lick on these Pokemon. We don't even need to use Nightshade. We're going to make our way to the Super Nerd and just keep crushing this section.
Okay, so we're at the Super Nerd, and the strategy. Grimer can't do anything. I mean, it can disable, but who cares? Disable doesn't matter. I'm just going to lick it over and over and over again. Just let it go down. And hey, this Voltorb technically can't do anything. Except Screech, which I guess could make this coughing do something, but Tackle doesn't affect us. Smog is weak. I think Smog... Can Smog actually hit us? Okay, it can. It does 1 damage. Yeah, Smog is so inaccurate, but I was wondering if, because we have a double resistance, if it could just be a situation where, like, Smog actually couldn't even affect us, but that happens occasionally. Poison Sting does nothing. We have to go Nightshade against Meowth. We don't even care about Growl. And Nightshade, 3 Nightshades, takes down the coughing. So there we go. And this is the thing, like our physical damage, or our damage output I guess I should say, because we're using Nightshade most of the time, is exactly identical to what we would be doing with a Gengar, because a Gengar is always going to be at the same level. So what that means is that, you know, Nightshade being one of our key moves that we use to damage things, actually kind of makes it where, like, this early game part should just be basically on par with Gengar. Okay. Now we do have to be careful here, because if we run out of PP due to that 1 sand attack that we took, we could lose, but got through it, no problem. No problem at all. Now we do...
So the funniest part of this run so far is that Here on Nugget Bridge, the biggest threat to Gastly is just that we could run out of PP, especially if we get sand attacked a bunch of times and we just don't manage to land all the nightshades. But really, we just can slowly whittle these Pokemon down. Even something like Leech Life doesn't do much damage to a ghost, it's only neutrally effective, and these Nidorans can't even hit us. Double Kick doesn't affect ghosts, right? So we just make our way through the Nugget Bridge pretty easily and move on to the rest of the trainers, but there are some interesting little glitches that we can find in the game, such as what happens with this hiker.
This guy right here can do literally nothing to us, so I'm just gonna sit here and spam Lick forever. And he can use Screech because those are just badge boosts and attack. And yeah, it said we were bound, but that doesn't actually do any damage. It's one of those weird glitches in Gen 1 where they use a wrapping move, but the game still knows that it can't hit, but still treats you like you've been hit by it.
So outside of some weird glitches where the game says that we're hit by a move that can't hit us, nothing does anything to us here. The Oddish Lass is just going to use Absorb. I think it's going to be really easy.
Goes down. Yeah, we'll just do some Nightshades here. Just finish this one off. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't waste Nightshades before the Pidgey, because that's like our biggest risk of resets in this section, is actually just not having Nightshade for a normal type Pokemon. The biggest challenge that we actually have is right here, this Innocent Bystander with his Drowsy. Here I think we want to confuse this one though, because we really don't want to be hit by Confusion. No! Okay, we finally snapped out of Confusion. Or sorry, disability, sorry. We got off the government dole, we're no longer on disability. Oh man.
So that was the scariest fight so far, and we got through without any trouble. We just have to fight 2 more trainers and we can make our way down to Rival 3. He shouldn't be hard either.
And it's Rival 3 time, where the only Pokemon that can actually hit us is of course this Spearow right here with Peck. It does have Smart AI now. Rival 3 is the first time that he actually is smart. But we get through that, and it's a 3-hitter here on this Eevee. Nice, nice. Yeah, we're kind of cruising. But now we have to actually take on a challenge, because we have to fight Misty. We have no choice, and she's smart, so she's only going to use Water-type moves against us. It was actually the reason why when I did the level 5 solo challenge video, so it was for the full game solo challenge where I was trying to beat the entire game with a single level 5 Pokemon, and of course I ended up doing it with Gyarados in Pokemon Red and Blue. My original idea was to do it with Gastly, because I thought Gastly can't be hit by so many things. The problem is that Misty has Smart AI, meaning that her Pokemon will only use Water-type moves. And because they only go Water-type moves the entire time, it actually means that we can get completely wrecked. Okay, so let's get into this fight with Misty, where I think we start off by confusing the Staryu. And now, oh, we got through it without a single hit. Got a speed drop there, but she uses an X defend. Oh, and we get through. Nice, 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 nice. If she went hard on Bubble Beam, if we didn't get any of those self-inflicted wounds, I guess is the best way to put it, then yeah, we could have lost that one, but we didn't. So, yeah. Okay.
So it turned out that Misty wasn't very hard, and we can now make our way towards Rock Tunnel. I thought about taking on Lieutenant Surge, but Thunderbolt could knock us out. It would be a 1 in 4 chance that he uses it, but yeah, I think these are safer battles. We take on the Rapping Lass and the Bug Catcher, but we have an unexpected challenge coming up in Rock Tunnel.
So here, the biggest threat is actually the Cubone, I think. We need to put the Cubone to sleep. So That was a one-hit KO from the Cubone with Bone Club. Okay, not quite a one-hitter there, which is fine. But now we absolutely have to put Slowpoke to sleep too. Okay, but we took it down. Okay, so we got one reset there, but that was because Hypnosis missed. This is where it's going to be kind of similar to Gengar as well, is that Hypnosis missing is going to be a factor in this one throughout the entire run. See, there we missed twice with Hypnosis and we were confused. Here we've already missed twice with oh, and it woke up, sorry. But yeah, Hypnosis being only 60% accurate and the fact that opponents can wake up is kind of the issue.
So those Pokemaniacs were a lot more difficult than they usually are, and we got our first couple of resets just right there. This Junior Trainer is nothing to worry about though, and hopefully the Rock Tunnel Hiker will just use Self-Destruct.
Now we do have to remember that the Rock Tunnel Hiker Self-Destruct misses us automatically, as does Tackle, and he can use Defense Curl. So the move that can hit us is Rock Throw. Rock Throw is only 65% accurate if I recall correctly. Ask my guy Kangaskhan. Sorry, Kangaskhan. But yeah, so I mean, Rock Throw could hit us, but if we can put him to sleep, we're golden. Or if they self-destruct, we're golden. Okay, we're just gonna confuse Ray there. And they're like 2-hit KOs here. We've already had 2 Rock Throw misses, so that's nice. Okay. And Graveler is a 3-hitter. Nice.
So we end up exiting Rock Tunnel with 3 resets after we take out this very easy Junior Trainer. And now we're going to move on to Rival 4. Let's see how this one goes.
We can go and fight Rival 4, and I don't think he's going to be too bad. So we want to start by putting Fearow to sleep, and I'm going to confuse it, just in case it wakes up. Okay, and we knocked that one out. Now, it's worth noting that Sonic Boom can hit ghosts. So we'll just take advantage of the fact that that's a 2-hitter. Knock that one out. And yeah, we're just gonna keep on the whole like, hey, I has Nightshade spam here. And level up. So cool.
So Rival 4 goes down without too much of a fight, and now we've got some easy trainers in front of us. We can get a bunch of extra levels by taking down Clefairy Girl, by taking down these Rocket Grunts, because once again, we're back to Pokemon that even if they can hit us, they're not going to do a lot of damage. And that gives me a little bit of confidence going into this, that if we can just get access to Hypnosis, I think Giovanni's going to be just fine. So let's try to get the levels and get into this one, first with Jesse and Jay.
Okay, so it's time for Team Rocket, where I think the game plan is Confusion, Hypnosis, and now let's just start licking this boy. And here we can just keep him asleep too. Just for shits and giggles, I guess, but yeah, there we go. Now, this one, just a couple Nightshades because it's the only move that hits it. Here, we'll confuse you. We'll put you to sleep too to stop you from spamming Glare on me. Okay. Team Rocket goes down. I'm actually going to dig out because I need more PP to take on Mr. Giovanni. Now, with Giovanni's team, it's one of these things where the only Pokemon that can actually hit us is, of course, the Onix with Rock Throw. He will use Rock Throw every turn because he has Smart AI. So he'll know that normal type moves don't work, but his other Pokemon only have normal type moves in this one. So, GG. Okay. Okay, and Rock Throw is kind of scary, but we get through, okay. And now, Horn Attack doesn't affect us, and guess what? Persian doesn't have a single move that can affect us other than Growl and Screech, but those don't matter.
So with the addition of Hypnosis on Giovanni's Onix, that was an absolute cakewalk. So we can move on now to Erica's gym, where this Execute Trainer literally can't do anything to us. The only damaging move it has is Barrage, which is normal type, otherwise it's just going to spam Hypnosis and Reflect. So we take it down and it's on to Erica.
So here, the Tangela can hit us with grass type moves, obviously, but we can just put it to sleep. And then it's a 3-hitter. We can put Weepinbell to sleep, and I'm going to confuse it just in case it wakes up. Looks like another 3-hitter. Okay, Petal Dance did hit. We're going to confuse it as well. This is all just about minimizing the risk of being hit. You're basically making it so that whenever she wakes up, there's a 50% chance that she doesn't hit you that turn because she's confused. So, Lieutenant Surge time. Surgy boy. I put him to sleep. I confuse him. I demand that you sleep again. I demand that you remain confused. Now I use Nightshade on you. And he gets wrecked. Cool.
So with 4 gyms down, we haven't taken a single reset since Rock Tunnel. And we can have a super effective move here against these Gastlys because Ghost is super effective against Ghost for some reason. And you can just lick floating balls of gas, apparently. Now, this Ghost Marowak is a bit of a threat because if it hits us with a Bone Club, we will get wrecked. But fortunately, it goes to sleep. And we can move on to Jesse and James.
So now Jesse and James time. They're going to be Jesse and James. They're just going to do standard stuff. And Arbok could use Glare, which is why I decided to put it to sleep there. Okay, knock it out. And yeah, we've leveled up to learn Dream Eater. And last time what we did is we put Dream Eater over Lick. I still think that is the play. I think we just go with exactly the same set as we used for Gengar, because the ability to heal, and given that Dream Eater is, I mean, just our strongest attacking move and Lick isn't very strong, plus the value of all the status that we can put on things is basically the name of the game.
So Dream Eater is going to be the single strongest move we get in this entire run, and we can already see on this random Rocket Grunt that Dream Eater, super effective against Poison, is really going to wreck things. But now we have some important decisions to make. I decided to go down to Koga's gym instead of taking on Rival 5 because I assumed that we should at least be able to get through the Venonats with Dream Eater. However, these are tough fights. We're up against a bunch of Psychic-type Pokemon, and they can just one-shot us with a Psychic if we get a critical hit, or if we miss a bunch of times with Hypnosis. So we really need Hypnosis to hit. It's only 60% accurate. This is the problem with Dream Eater strats. You have to hope for Hypnosis to hit, otherwise you have basically no offense. Nothing's going to be a 1 or 2 shot at this point with Nightshade, so yeah, we just have to get the luck. But we get through, and now it's on to Koga.
We're not going to get to a high enough speed to outspeed the Venomoth. That much I can say for sure. Like, even if we used all of the rare candies, we're not going to outspeed the Venomoth. So we're really hoping for Venomoth to use Leech Life against us. Since somebody corrected me and said that Leech Life is only neutrally effective against Ghost, because it's super effective against Poison, but Ghost resists Bug, so it's actually neutrally effective. But the AI will think that it's super effective, so it will randomize 50% to use it. Okay. But we do outspeed the Venonats, so we want to put them to sleep. It's actually super important to put them to sleep, and then we're using Dream Eater here. But when they're in decent ranges, we can just Nightshade them down. And Psychic one-shots. So yeah, we need the 50% chance that he either uses whatchamacall, Leech Life, or we can also take the chance that he uses a an X attack. Okay. Okay, and now we want to confuse this one as well. Okay, it hit itself in confusion twice. Oh, but then it was confused no more. We missed 2 hypnosises in a row. If we don't miss those hypnosises, we're golden.
I grinded this battle over and over and over again, and we often could get to the Venomoth, but it really comes down to we need a run where he uses an X attack, we land a hypnosis, and it stays asleep for multiple turns. Otherwise, the Venomoth's just gonna wreck us. So I finally break down and say, you know what? I guess I have to use some rare candies. At least with rare candies, we can get to a higher level. Maybe it will turn into a range on Psychic as opposed to just being a guaranteed one-hit KO. And if we could ever survive a Psychic, well then we have much better odds of getting through this fight. But here, even at a higher level, sure, we can now see that Dream Eater is one-shotting these Venonats. But can we survive a Psychic? And if we can't, do we even have a shot in this fight? Maybe we need to go back to Rival 5.
So... Ooh, we survived with 1 HP there. So clearly there is a range where we can survive 1 Psychic. It's not a very good range. That might have been the best possible range in terms of our luck, but it does exist. Worth noting. But okay. Enough of that. Let's just try Rival 5 one time. But the question is really about the Kadabra here. Can we survive a hit from Kadabra? So this one... Okay... Here we took 1 sand attack. And that was enough, I think. Okay. Let's try this again. Poison Sting does nothing. Oh, and the critical hit. Nice. Okay. No, stay asleep. Okay. It's a couple hits with Dream Eater there on the Cloister. I'm actually going to confuse Magneton. Now I can go Dream Eater. And as long as we outspeed, Dream Eater is pretty strong. And here we survive against Confusion. So, yep, knock that one out. And now we outspeed Flareon, so yeah. Coming here to fight Rival 5 was the play. Okay. And we can immediately take on Jesse and James because the strategy is Hypnosis, Dream Eater. Then here, Hypnosis, come on. And Dream Eater, nice. And then here, Meowth can do nothing, so we just Nightshade it down. Cool. So now, into Giovanni. He can't hit ghosts. I mean, he can here with Poison Sting. Sorry, I lied. He has 1 move that can hit ghosts. A move that we do not even remotely care about. Yeah, good luck with your growl spam, buddy. We can just Nightshade this one down. And then, yeah, this Nidoqueen can't hit ghosts, so we just wreck it. Nice, nice, nice. So now the second thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take on Sabrina. Sorry, not Erica, Sabrina. Yeah, we're not going to outspeed anything. Hopefully she uses an X defend and we can just put Abra to sleep, or it misses with Flash. That would have been nice too. Okay. Okay, we get wrecked on that one.
Now, I think anybody could have expected that Sabrina would be a pretty tough fight for a Gastly, because, of course, she has super effective same-type Psychic moves to completely wreck us if she hits with Psychic. What we're really hoping for is, number 1, to get through the Abra without getting a bunch of accuracy drops, number 2, to have her Pokemon use moves that don't do a lot of damage, things like Psy-Wave, or things like Reflect. But ultimately, the issue in this fight comes down to the fact that we can't outspeed anything. If we had higher speed, we would be able to just put these Pokemon to sleep and then hopefully whittle them down from there. That's what Haunter and Gengar basically did here. Now you might be saying, why even fight Sabrina at this point? Why not just go fight Koga again and try to take him out? Well, we have to beat one of these two trainers. The difference is that Sabrina doesn't use Smart AI in Pokemon Yellow, so she just attacks completely randomly. And given that this Abra can miss with Flash and she can use X defense, I think we have a better chance of getting through this one. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Koga's the way to go. I'm gonna grind it a few more times, but if it doesn't work out, I think we know our next step.
Okay, and we get wrecked. Like, we really need a run where we get through Abra without getting flashed too many times. Yeah, this one's pretty much already GG. But there is always a chance, so... Okay, I think we have to give up on this one for now. Right, so we need better luck against these Venonats. Like, Psychic's only 10% to drop your special, so... Shouldn't get a lot of special drops, but, you know. Okay. Stays asleep, nice. And now I think we've won. Yes, yes, haha, haha. We get through. Okay, we're on 28 resets, so we're already worse than Gengar. Sorry, we're worse than Gengar. It's just a fact of life.
So we finally made our way through Koga, but I'm not very confident about taking on Sabrina. I think we need at least a badge boost in special before we can do that. So I go on down to Cinnabar Island where I can pick up 2 more rare candies and take on Blaine. Let's see how this goes.
I think we just stay here and grind against Blaney Boy till we win. Okay. Now Rapidash uses Stomp, that's fine. Go and Confuse Ray. Go in some Nightshades. Okay, hit itself in confusion. We leveled up. We survive a Fire Blast. Uses Takedown, which doesn't affect us. We can keep spamming Dream Eater. Let's go Nightshade. And Nightshade, there we go. We get through Blaine on the first attempt. No problem. Flashes, at least we might be able to survive more hits. Maybe. Right, that one flash has us now outspeeding Abra. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try her one time and then I think I'm gonna go into rare candies here. Okay, we got through Abra without any defense drops though. Here, I'm just confusing it in case it wakes up quickly. Okay, we're to Alakazam, which uses Reflect. which is kind of good. Now we can spam our Nightshades and oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we can dig out and we can fly and we can go try to take on Giovanni.
So with the badge boost and specials, Sabrina actually went down pretty easily. And now we have 2 free trainers in Giovanni's gym. This Rhyhorn can't hit ghosts, neither can the Black Belt. But Giovanni might just be the biggest test we've faced so far. Are we going to be able to get through his Doug Trio even?
I'm gonna probably level up in this fight, but let's just see. Let's see how it goes. Earthquake is going to be a 1-hit. Fissure Mist, now Guard Spec, that's fine. Okay. Okay, I'm kind of wanting the Screeches, because like we're already going to be in a position of not being able to knock anything out, or not being able to survive a an earthquake rather.
Gastly has a huge problem in Pokemon Yellow that it doesn't have in Pokemon Red and Blue. The fact that every single Pokemon on Giovanni's team except for Persian is capable of one-hitting it with an earthquake. This team is just so much better in this version of the game, and we don't outspeed the Doug Trios, so we have to get some luck. Can we get it?
This is what sucks when you have a run that relies on an opponent giving you a badge boost. Okay. I mean, we could sit here and, like... Oh, and now he's just going hard on double team this one. Okay. Okay, we did get the badge boost that we need, but now we've actually got to hit him. No, come on. Confuse him. Okay. Hit yourself at least once. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, Nidoqueen is asleep. Okay. And now we knock that one out. Nidoking goes to sleep. Okay, we knocked that one out. Rhydon goes to sleep. Okay, there we go. 49 resets, but we do get through Giovanni. That's nice. That's nice. I like that. Okay. I mean, 49 resets. We're still in the range. We're still... You know, if we can get through this next section without just, you know, 51 resets, we can be S tier with our Gastly. So, starting off here against the Sandslash, I think we just put it to sleep and then Nightshade it down. But then executes another Pokemon that we have to Nightshade down. So here we're going to go Dream Eater on Cloyster. I think it's the logical play. Oh, we got paralyzed. No. Okay, now we have to keep in mind that it could go Reflect here. Psybeam is not a one-hit KO either. Okay.
Our Gastly actually outspeeds everything on the Rival 6 team, but it doesn't really matter when Hypnosis misses so much. It's only 60% accurate, meaning most of the time we get paralyzed or we get leech seeded, and then we're in perfect position to just get knocked out by the Kadabra. And even when we manage to get through that Kadabra, it's not a guaranteed win against Flareon. So we're going to have to take quite a few attempts here.
Okay, we get wrecked there because we got paralyzed. This is definitely another one where we do need a lot of things to go right. Okay, execute, stays asleep. Good, good, good. Okay, Cloister's asleep. That's nice. Ooh, what am I doing? Trying to put this one to sleep. But the attack drop actually might have helped us. If we can just put it back to sleep and heal up off of it. Because that's a badge boost in speed as well. As special. Oh, but we leveled up. So never mind. Okay, but it used reflect. Okay, we survived. We're all the way to Flareon, but we need to put it to sleep. Okay, there we go. Now we can heal off of it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, we got through. We got through. 55 resets, but that's not bad. That's not terrible.
So with Rival 6 going down, we're going to pick up the last rare candies in the game. One in the Warden's house, one on Victory Road, and of course, one over in the power plant. But we're already on 55 resets, and we still have the massive challenge of the Elite Four out in front of us. Now, do you guys think that Gastly's going to end as an S tier Pokemon? Drop it in the comments right now, because I'd love to see if you guys can correctly guess how many resets we're actually going to end up at. Here, there are some clear challenges as well as some pretty clear easy wins. Bruno probably won't do anything to us. Agatha actually will be pretty easy too, as long as we can put her to sleep and use Dream Eater. But Lorelei, Lance, and the Champion all have some potential to pose some threats to us. So we're just gonna have to see how this works out. But if you are enjoying this video so far, go ahead and drop a like on this one. We have hit a ton of massive milestones recently with 2,000 subs and getting over 100,000 views. But if there's one thing that we haven't done on this channel yet, it's get a video to 1,000 likes. And if we can do it, I have some special stuff planned, including my full game run with Magikarp, my full game run of Pokemon Blue Kaizo, and a community-inspired run called a Baton Pass that we've been talking about over on the Discord. The folks in the Discord have already done it in Pokemon Blue, I believe, and it is amazing. So anyway, if you like the content, just go ahead and like. I appreciate it so much, guys. Now we're going to go to the power plant because of course we need to get our hands on a max elixir, one more rare candy, and one more PP up so that we can have the best possible chance of getting through the Elite Four. Will we be able to get through them without taking more than 100 resets? If we can, we will have Gastly in the S tier, and an S tier finish for a fully unevolved Pokemon without any TMs or any extra battles would be a pretty amazing accomplishment. So everybody wave goodbye to Zapdos. It's time to go and try to take on Lorelei. Let's see how this goes.
Okay, but let's start off with Lorelei. Okay, so we take that one down. Ice Beam hurts. Okay, so 2 Ice Beams was enough to knock us out. And we got to keep in mind that the the Slowbro is going to be a little rough in this one. Okay, Clamp hurts too. And we just cannot hit Hypnosis on that Cloister. Come on. Come on. Okay. So Slowbro, we can put it to sleep and we can confuse it. Now we can go Nightshade like crazy. Okay. Oh, and we get frozen solid by Jinx. Are you kidding me? Come on. 10% chance. And the game's just like, I don't care. I don't care about odds. I like these ads. Okay, we knocked that one out. Here we definitely need to go Dream Eater on these ones so that we can save as many Nightshades as possible for this boy. Okay, we get wrecked. Like we survived that with 1 HP, but we weren't going to survive anything that Jinx would do to us. We won't survive what Jinx would do to us. Okay, it used rest, which means we get to use a couple Dream Eaters on it for free. Haha. Never rest against a ghost. Okay, nice crit there. Okay, Amnesia's fine. As long as we can put it to sleep. Start spamming some Nightshades to take it out. Oh, Nightshade missed? Are you kidding me? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we really need Lapras to go to sleep because we are on low health. Okay, but we take it down. There we go. There we go. 59 resets, but we're fine. We're fine. I still haven't used any PP ups. What should I use PP ups on? That's the question. Hypnosis? Dream Eater? Nightshade? I'm not sure. Let's get into the Bruno fight. He can wreck us with ground type moves here, but fortunately we outsped. Now Hitmonchan can hit us with elemental punches. This Hitmonlee, on the other hand, cannot do anything to us. So I'm just going Nightshade on this one. Okay, Dream Eater. Yeah, and then this one can't do anything to us, so I'm just gonna sit here and spam Nightshade, because he can't do anything, haha. Anytime you get a ghost up against that Machamp, you've already won the fight. Okay, so we need to Elixir here, obviously, and get into this Agatha fight, where obviously Dream Eater is the strat, if we can just land the hits. Lick is super effective, mind you, so we can actually be wrecked by Lick strats here. Wing attack also kind of hurts, but... Okay, now it stays asleep, so now we can just Dream Eater it down. That was a critical hit. Lick. You gotta keep in mind that sleep can hit through a substitute. So me using Hypnosis when she's got a substitute up is not necessarily a mistake. Okay, Lick is the problem though. Lick is a serious problem here. Especially with this Gengar getting crits. Okay. Okay, we take down Gengar. That's nice. We outspeed here against Arbok, which is really nice. Okay. Now the last Gengar. We put it to sleep. Now I really do want to confuse it, because we create this situation where it can hit itself in confusion. Okay, there we go. We're through Agatha. Nice. 63 resets. We're still doing fine. This one's going to leave plenty of room for optimization, clearly, but nothing too bad. Now here, on this one, we might have to go for Leer strats on the Gyarados. I'm going to confuse it first. Put it to sleep. For this one, it's got pretty good stats, so I'm going to Nightshade it down. We might also just be hoping for Wing Attack. Okay, Wing Attack is what we got. Okay, I'm going to confuse it. I'm going Nightshade now because I don't want to risk that it wakes up. Okay, Dragonite is asleep. I am going to also confuse it. Put it back to sleep. Nice. He Hyper Potions. But I think that as long as it stays asleep, there we go. Lance goes down. There we go, Lancey boy. Thank you, thank you. Appreciate you for coming out, for contributing this nice little win to me. I mean, that's what friends are for, guys. Okay, we're gonna spam all the rare candies here. Looks like we're getting to level 59 in this one. I don't think we're gonna be able to outspeed the Alakazam no matter what we do. Yeah, I don't think we're quite fast enough to outspeed Alakazam. Okay. So we're gonna have to get decent luck against Alakazam, I think. Oh. Sorry, I have to reset because I didn't restore PP. I had no PP, guys. And, let's just think about this. I think that Hypnosis is super important in this one. And I think Confusion is going to be super important in this one. I think I have enough attacking PP. I think it's all about the status moves. Okay. So he wakes up, but that's fine. Okay. Psychic is going to one-shot. I think we need Psybeam or like a Kinesis Miss from the Alakazam. I think this one really comes down though to just getting a run where we get through Alakazam. Once we're through Alakazam, I think we've got decent chances. Not great chances, but decent chances. Okay. Okay, we put Exeggutor to sleep. Now he's not going to want to use Leech Seed on me because Smart AI says that Leech Seed is resisted because it's grass and we're poison type, so he is never going to damage us. Okay. Thunder Wave sucks, but okay. Like, if we don't get paralyzed there, we're fine. But yeah, the Kinesis is kind of the problem there. And the full restores suck. I hate that the champion uses full restores. Like, I understand it, basically, but... and I misplayed there. I understand why it uses full restores, because they were like, oh yeah, we should make it hard to just sit here and status the champion. And make it so that you'll have him almost beaten, but then he'll come back from the dead like a freaking zombie out here. But yeah, I mean, we're just getting kind of bad luck in this one. But that's kind of my MO whenever I get to the champion. Okay. Okay, he doesn't use a full restore, thank God. Thank God for that. Okay. Let's get all our bad luck out here, come on. How many times are we gonna miss with hypnosis? Clearly. Oh man. This game just does not believe in percentages at all. Okay. There we managed to land hypnosis on Magneton finally. Okay. And he wakes up, but that's fine as long as we can knock him out. Oops, that was not what I was going for. I was going for the Nightshade. Here, I'll go Dream Eater though. Yes, yes! Oh, you jerk. Full restores. Okay, but now he's back asleep, and hey you Flareon. G to the G. I gotcha. Oh. Gastly does it. 92 resets, but it does beat the game on 0 DVs, on minimum battles, with no TMs. Completely unoptimized. And it is still an S tier Pokemon. It is way better than a lot of things. Like, a lot of things are worse than a Gastly. That is an objective fact. So,
in the end, Gastly was absolutely an S tier Pokemon. In spite of all of its troubles with Sabrina and all of its troubles with Giovanni, it has all the tools that it needs to beat the entire game without even using any TMs. But we can optimize this, and I'm going to try it a little different way. I'm going to try adding some optional battles in this one. So, Brock doesn't really matter, we just beat him immediately, but we're on to the first optimization.
We're not going to take a ton of optional battles here, but there is one battle we're going to take. Basically, this is the single most experience-efficient battle in the entire game, when you're talking optional battles, is this old man right here. Because he blocks a rare candy. You have to beat him in order to get the rare candy, and a rare candy is the most, XP efficient way to progress in the game by far. So, here we're going to get that rare candy, and that's the only optional battle we're taking here.
We get through the SSN with no resets, and we even take down Misty without a single reset here, and now it's on to Lieutenant Surge to get Thunderbolt.
So let's just see if we can get the luck to get through this with no resets. That would be super cool. No. He gives us a reset immediately with Thunderbolt. You jerk. He keeps doing that to me, too. Oh, I didn't die. No. No, it wasn't a critical hit. No, rip. Okay. So we can survive with like 19 HP. Okay. So I may not have needed that second reset, we don't know. I jumped the gun. Okay, but we are going to learn Thunderbolts immediately on Gastly, one Pokemon, is that you're gonna get some that are from the same evolutionary line that will necessarily be the same. Now Cubone just wrecked us here. We have to put it to sleep, and then Nightshade it down. And now Slowpoke is where we go for the Thunderbolt and we one-shot. But that Cubone is still a problem.
So Thunderbolt really hasn't improved the run up to this point. We're still on 3 resets, the same as the first attempt. But now we can get Psychic. And Psychic might just allow us to wreck some opponents. We're going to test it out on Giovanni.
You are no match for me. Psychic. Haha, Psychic. Not a one-hit KO. Ooh, that's kind of surprising. It was a one-hit KO with Haunter. It is not a one-hit KO with Gastly. I mean, we're following the exact same route to this point. So we can actually say that oh, this was a one-hit KO with Haunter and not a one-hit KO with Gastly.
The fact that Psychic wasn't enough to one-shot Rhyhorn has me a little bit nervous about going to take on Koga. But I decided to just take on Erica now. She's incredibly easy. We have no resets there. We can go to the Lavender Tower and take on Jesse and James. They're going to be easy too. And Thunderbolt really helps out against the jugglers in Koga's gym. But before we take on Koga, I think we need more levels so that we can hopefully outspeed.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the 10th floor, and I'm going to fight this guy right here since he's blocking a rare candy. And since his Machoke literally cannot hit us. And then what I want to do, I think, is the next most efficient set of battles are the Fighting Dojo. Because they're just going to be a bunch of one-hitters. And a lot of these Pokemon simply can't even hit Gastly. Okay. So that's 1, 2, not quite a one-hitter, but 3. Here is 4 trainers. And then finally, let's just take on this boyo here. Okay, that was 5 optional trainers. And we were able to gain quite a few levels just by doing that.
By taking optional trainers, I'm hoping that I'll finally reach a point where I can outspeed some of the opponents that are causing us to have trouble here. I'm even going to use my rare candies here to try to get enough speed that hopefully I can outspeed something at least. Hypnosis strats work much better when you're faster than your opponent, because you don't necessarily have to take a hit from them in order to have a chance to get them under sleep status, at which point they can do nothing. Generation 1 is not like later generations. Opponents cannot attack the turn that they wake up. So speed with sleep tactics is just so broken. But we're not quite fast enough to actually be able to outspeed Koga's Venomoth, even with optional battles. Silphco is an excellent training ground for a Gastly because so many of these Pokemon can't actually do much damage to it. But we also have to keep in mind that these aren't necessarily huge XP gains for every fight. And really, if we're just trying to gain levels in order to be able to outspeed something, it's pretty clear that even with Gastly's high base speed, it's not going to happen at any sort of reasonable level. So I decided to just take on the toughest trainers that I can find in here, the ones that I think will give the most experience. This isn't necessarily perfectly optimized. I'm sure there are other trainers that gave more experience than this somewhere, but here I'm just trying to find trainers that I can easily... I'm trying to find trainers that I know will give decent experience and that won't be too terrible to beat. If we can get that kind of mix, then I think we have a chance to get extra levels, and we might just be able to get through some of these tough fights. But let's see how this goes.
Okay, so we've gained quite a few levels. We're all the way up to level 48 right now, which means we have really good speed and pretty good special. And now I want to see if we can just one-shot these Gastlys and maybe we'll be fine. Okay, so first test, one-shot.
One shot. One shot. Now he X attacks. Nice. And now, oh, we just wrecked there. Okay. So, yeah. That definitely put us in the position to completely wreck that team. And now, we can go back to Sylph. We've taken 10 optional battles. We've added 2 TMs. And, yeah. We should outspeed everything on the Rival 5's team now. Okay, we're just gonna use Psychic there. Thunderbolt should be enough right there. Hypnosis, Dream Eater will be like a 2-hitter there. Nice. Okay, we put Kadabra to sleep. Thunderbolt does the job. Critical hit from Ember did a lot of damage, man. But there we go. Cool. So Gastly gets through that one. But you just gotta keep...
So for dealing with Koga and Rival 5, clearly adding optional battles was a pretty reasonable strategy. Yeah, we had to add quite a few, but we're only on 7 resets. And moving on to Sabrina, maybe we can just do the same thing. I decided to fight all of the channelers in her gym. Since we have good moves against other ghost-type Pokemon, we can easily knock these out. But now it's time to try Sabrina.
Now, I'm not sure that we're going to actually outspeed anything, but we fought 3 more channelers, so we've got 13 optional battles so far. We do outspeed Abra, which is pretty good. Yeah, that was bad. We gotta actually put the Alakazam to sleep to have a decent shot here. Okay. And the issue is we're still slower than Kadabra here. And that one critical hit Psychic is always going to be a one-shot on us. Okay. Kinesis just wrecks. Like, it's kind of nice, I guess, that we now outspeed Kadabra, but if we can't hit Kadabra, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Okay, but we did take her down there. Cool. 9 resets so far. Is about 1 point on the tier list, so really not that bad. Now the issue is that we need like 133 speed to outspeed the Doug trio. So I'm gonna start by fighting these trainers in here. Tauros can't do anything, so there we go. This guy's got a Machoke that can't do anything to us, so easy win. And that Nidoking goes down. So those are all easy. Right? So that was 3 more. We're up to... What is that? 9 trainers? Yeah, once we get through these, we're going to be on 19 optional battles. And we can see that we're just not even close. 122 speed, and we need 133, so we probably need like 4 or 5 more levels to even get there. Oh man, we would be taking so many optional battles to do that we'd just tank our score. Right? Because we're on 19 optional battles right now, which is almost 5 points, plus the 2 TMs. Right? So that's already nearly 7 points right there, plus these 9 resets, so almost 8 points off. We don't have any flexibility, guys. So the strat of like fight some extra optional battles to make this better just clearly doesn't work. And there we can see it outspeeds. And I mean, consider level 56 is a pretty high level for Gastly at this point in the game. Okay, there we get guard spec, which is nice. Critical hit, one shots, which is also very nice. See, that's not a one hitter, that's why I put it to sleep. Okay, that was a one hitter. And we get wrecked by Rhydon. So there we go. Yeah, so the issue here is that while yes, TMs do help in certain spots in this run, they don't actually make the run any better. And adding optional battles would be the only way to make Giovanni consistent. The problem is that you would have to add more optional battles in order to level up enough to make him consistent than you would have available in terms of score, right? You're going to get a lower score overall on the tier list. Like right now, let's just look at this, right? So we got Gastly 1 right here, finished at level 60, right? So lower than the level that we would need to hit in order to outspeed the Doug Trio. With 92 resets, right? Sorry, we can ignore a lot of things, but we've got 30 resets so far. We added 2 TMs, and we added, what was that? 19 optional battles so far. Our score is 90.25, right? Whereas if we go up here and we look at our tier list, we finished with a score of 90.8 before, right? So what that tells me, right? We've already gotten a lower score than our first run with Gastly. So while we can continue this run, we can do it to the end just to see. The fact of the matter is that we have not improved the run. And this is something that I think a lot of people will maybe push back on when I make this video, but it is going to be a major point in this video that there is a point where if your whole goal is just to get through the game with few or zero resets, sure, you can overlevel. You can just overlevel and you can do that. But if your strategy is to beat the game efficiently in a decent amount of time and without being super overleveled, you're going to have to accept some amount of resets as just part of the game. And some Pokemon just don't have tools to actually get a better run. And the Gengar, Haunter, Gastly line are kind of in that boat, where we found that with Haunter in the second run, adding 2 TMs did allow it to improve its score overall, but it's certainly not a case where adding optional battles would have done much. Adding 1 optional battle to get 1 more rare candy in the case of Gengar, in the case of Haunter or Gengar, might have actually helped. But in the case of Gastly, it needs so much more than that in order to be quote-unquote consistent. And it's, at the end of the day, those optional battles are unnecessary. You can beat the game without them about as efficiently as you can beat the game with them. So here we're already at 31 resets. And I mean, we've got way more battles than we should at this point. So it's a failed optimization, basically, but it's also because we could get a really good run where we beat Giovanni on the first attempt, right? It's just that this battle is completely inconsistent. Definition, a consistent battle, just because we've leveled up. You know. Like, clearly, it's a completely luck-based battle that still relies on basically the same thing, right? Whether we outspeed Dugtrio or not, it's can we get through Dugtrio without taking a hit? And then can we put the Nidos to sleep and Dream Eater them? And now, on Rhydon, can we put it to sleep? Because if we don't, one Earthquake ends the run. Oh, man. Now, this one is much easier in Pokemon Red and Blue because of the fact that, except for Dugtrio, nothing on Giovanni's team knows any ground-type moves. So, basically why in Pokemon Red and Blue, beating the whole game with a single Gastly is an absolute cakewalk. Here we finally get the Rhydon asleep, and there it's a 2-hitter. But that's bad, guys. See, we have massively overleveled to achieve the same result. That's all we have done. We have just added so many levels to achieve the same result. And in fact, to achieve a worse result on my tier list. Okay. Okay. Now we know Thunderbolt should be a one-shot there. It is. Nice. Here, Dream Eater. Okay, we wreck there. Now, we should outspeed Kadabra at this point, because, yeah. And we get wrecked by Flareon because Hypnosis missed. This one had no resets. Okay. Congratulations. You had no resets? Like, you know, is that the goal of a solo challenge? Just to have no resets? Or is it perhaps to beat the game, you know, as a challenge? So unless it's specifically like a deathless run or something, you know, a no faint run, which, I mean, that would be cool, you know, if that's your thing. Fine, but outside of that, I just don't see any point in massively overleveling like that. Okay, here, that is a one-shot. Here, we're going to put Slowbro to sleep. 2-shot there. Put Jinx to sleep. Here, I'm actually even going to... Okay. I should just Thunderbolt. And no need to get cute, just 2 Thunderbolts. There we go. Okay, so here we can full restore, we can Elixir. On to Bruno, where, I mean, we're over leveled now, so of course we're gonna beat him. You know, I don't think this is hard at all. I think this is just a cakewalk run from here on out. Except for the champion and Lance, but I mean, again, we'd have to so massively over level. But I don't know, we'll outspeed the Alakazam, so yeah, maybe it will be a super cakewalk now. And maybe there will be some people who are like, that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see every single fight be a one-hit KO for every single opponent. You know, no need to think here, no need to strategize. Just, you know, Oh, we got Dream Eatered. Haha, we got wrecked by Agatha. Okay, we get through her the second time. Easy, easy. Oh, there's our elixirs. Okay, let's just get our PP up a little bit and into the Lancey boy fight. Thunderbolt one-shots there. That's to be expected. Let's see how Dream Eater's doing. Still not a one-hitter. Kind of makes sense. Haunter wasn't a one-hitter, but, you know, the fact that we're at such a high level kind of makes you think that we should have gotten some, you know, benefit out of this. You know? Like, I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, you only have 57 resets now. Rip. Okay, so it's time for the champion, where the only potential benefit is outspeeding against the Alakazam. Oh, but we don't outspeed the Alakazam. Sorry, I lied. We need more speed than this to outspeed the Alakazam. So as I've discussed before, I'm going to use Exeggutor to heal up on, since it will never actually deal damage to me. But that Kinesis might just end the run. Oh, we're getting good ranges with Hypnosis at least here. Okay. Clamp hurts. Okay, but we do get through that, and now, guess what? Flareon's a guaranteed win, so we just have to land the hits. Okay. So there we go, we beat our gassy rival with 57 resets. But man, we took what was that, 49 optional battles? Something ridiculous. Basically 40 optional battles and 2 TMs to do it, which just isn't reasonable for only having wiped off at the end. What is that? 35 resets. We knocked off 35 resets off of this run in exchange for that many optional battles and TMs.
So in the end, the strategy of adding optional battles in order to beat our opponents by either taking less damage or being able to outspeed them worked fine for Gastly in the middle game. However, when we got to the later sections of the game against Giovanni and the champion, the whole thing fell apart. We went from having 9 resets at the time that we entered Giovanni's gym to finishing the entire game with 57 resets. And they all are basically attributable to one thing: Gastly cannot take a hit. So because of that, we actually got a lower score with this second run with Gastly after adding 2 TMs and 49 optional battles compared to our first run that was 0 DVs and minimum battles with no TMs. So this kind of makes the point that these ghost Pokemon really aren't meant to be optimized by adding TMs or adding optional battles. They're fine just the way they are. They don't need that extra stuff, and in fact that extra stuff is probably just slowing you down. It's probably making the run more complicated than it needs to be. And it's not just Gastly, I've seen this with Tentacruel as well. It's something that we'll dive into more in the future.
The only question that remains is, does Gastly beat Mewtwo? I think we know the answer to this, but, you know, it's always good to check it out. We've got a level 60 Gastly to go up against a level 70 Mewtwo. We know if we get hit with Psychic, it's GG. But we also know that if we put it to sleep, confuse it, and it stays asleep long enough, we can just Nightshade it down, and it doesn't matter if it uses Barrier. Barrier doesn't count. Not when we're using Nightshade, come on. We're throwing all the shade. We're throwing the afternoon shade too. And the, yeah. Whatever shade you want, we're dropping it, man. We're throwing all the shade. But this is hopeful for me because it establishes that yes, Gastly's kind of the ideal case of an unevolved Pokemon, but we've already beaten the game with a Weepinbell. So you would think that a Bellsprout can probably do the same thing with 0 DVs and minimum battles, no TMs. I think there are other Pokemon that are going to be capable of doing this on 0 DVs and minimum battles without even needing a single TM. So that's what I'm gunning for here. So we're going to put Mewtwo to sleep. We're going to confuse it. And now we're going hard into the Nightshade, but it says, hey, I'm Psychic. I'm Psychic. I knew that you were about to do that. I knew that you were going to try to confuse me too. But we take down Mewtwo. So there we go. Our little Gastly. Swayze. Patrick Swayze. He's ghosting everybody, man. This little Gastly with only 56 defense and 62 attack has beaten the entire game of Pokemon Yellow. 0 DVs, minimum battles, no TMs. It's a legend. You know, but there are some spots that just can't really be optimized without a bunch of level ups or, you know, something like Substitute. Like, how do we get through that Alakazam reliably? Right? Like, we don't. Double Team. Double Team is the solution to that fight. Put the Sand Slash to sleep and set up Double Team, or Substitute. Substitute could work. Put the Sand Slash to sleep, set up Substitute. But I mean, those, we're already S tier, so there's never, ever, ever, ever a reason for an S tier Pokemon to add a broken TM. Ever. It's not worth it. Unless you are literally going for like 0 resets run, there would just never be a reason to add those TMs. But those would make sense. They would. If you were especially trying to optimize the final battle without adding any optional battles, you just wanted to do this pure 0 DVs minimum battles, then yeah. The other thing to keep in mind is that with max DVs, we probably outsped the Alakazam there, and then, you know, it's just a matter of putting it to sleep. So, yeah, we just have to keep that in mind. Anyway, that does it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to post this up for the members today. Mucky Boy, Running Amok for Razador is also dropping today. So, I hope you enjoy that one. See you in the next video. Later, guys. Peace.